Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called Why Do Australians Love to Go Barefoot? Now of course I've seen this fact mentioned on a couple of the culture shock videos. I will be honest, when I was in Melbourne, I don't think I ever witnessed anybody walking barefoot, or I never noticed if I did. Tell me the answer to the questions. Why do Australians specifically love to go barefoot? I feel like being in Australia, because it's so hot, the ground would be super warm, man, so it'd be quite difficult to walk on the pavement. Is that true or not? I guess, why would they go barefoot? I guess it's just easier coming off the beach just to go barefoot, but yeah, let's find out the reason, man, and the history
People are
of it.
asked to typify aspects of Australian culture, barefoot would be in there.
It's been called one of the weirdest, perplexing, odd, unexplainable Australian cultural habits.
There's a strain that runs through Australian culture. You can go barefoot and say, in so doing, I am living out Australian culture.
Now, this might seem like an ordinary habit to everyday Australians, but actually it's not so normal to other people around the world. There isn't a shoe shortage in Australia, and it doesn't take much effort to put on a pair of shoes. So do Australians really love their land so much they don't need any layers between it and their feet?
Feet are a funny thing. You know, and most people don't like feet. And I think that it's just something that we shouldn't be promoting or drawing attention to.
I mean, I don't know if I really agree with that. Like, the reason is just not to draw attention to the feet because people don't like feet. I mean, I don't particularly like feet, but I've not got a problem with other people. I'm not scared of them or something like that. I don't care if people want to walk about barefoot. For me, the problem is just like, yeah, maybe, I mean, I don't think I'd walk somewhere like that in case I stood on a rock and injured myself or something like that. But yeah, that was a bit like strong as a reason not to go barefoot.
The truth is, for most of human existence, everyone was barefoot.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Humans started wearing shoes about 40,000 years ago. So why did Australians begin to take them off?
Australia marketed itself to the migrants it needed. There was a need for workers and inhabitants. So how do you attract someone from a cold, damp tenement building in Glasgow?
What? I am from a cold, dark tenement building in Glasgow, man. That is where I grew up. Why would they specifically use that person or that, like, people, man? Like, let me hear more of this, sorry.
Or in Manchester or in London.
Okay.
Well, you show them images of life down under, and that involves the privilege, if you like, of going barefoot. You can leave your miserable life behind, come and make a new life in a new world.
The whole year round you may surf and swim and sunbathe. Cool Pacific breezes temper our summers, while bright sunny days mark our incomparable winters.
Then the culture developed of removing your shoes as a sign that you've left the Northern Hemisphere behind. This is a new country, sun-loving, fun-loving place. You can cast off your footwear and embrace the land.
Okay, I had no idea that's why. Yeah, maybe, like, so it's a sign that you live somewhere that is very comfortable, you don't need shoes. I mean, in a way, it is a good thing, but I mean, it's not something that would entice me to move to a country, the fact I don't have to wear shoes. But, like, no matter where I go, I'd always rather wear shoes just for, like, I don't want my feet to get, like, injured or dirty or something like that. But yeah, the fact that it's, like, it's a sign of, like enticement to people in the UK, that is something I've never thought of or heard of.
And not only have Australians cast off their footwear and embraced the land, they've embraced the leisure lifestyle. There isn't a lot of everyday activities you can't do barefoot. You can go into stores and supermarkets. You can buy your fruit and vegetables. You can even go into liquor stores. In fact, you can go just about anywhere in public, unless there's a dress code. And the Australian dress code is very casual.
I mean, that right there that evolution, I mean, if you want to call it evolution, is my evolution. In my 20s, I used to like work in finance. I used to dress like as sharp as I could, as well as I could, every day. As I get older, man, I just want to be comfortable, man. And now I live in such a hot country. I'm like shorts and t-shirt all the time, man. So casual. So I can relate to this.
We are a rather relaxed country, and I think that's just due to the wonderful climate that we have. However, I think some of our relaxed ideals have become a little sloppy. Even just walking around the streets or into shopping centres, you know, I just think wearing shoes is appropriate. Some of the places where I have seen terrible barefootedness is, you know, obviously on aircrafts, in a cinema, the library, you know, cafes, restaurants, places that you should never see your feet.
But Australian feet have also taken the world stage. Our cricketers participate in earthing, we've pioneered barefoot bowls, barefoot water ski jumping, and we even have a world-famous children's entertainer from the Wiggles. And if that's not enough, the founder of the barefoot movement is also Australian.
Some of the benefits of being barefoot are increased power output, better alignment, better muscle activation. We have over 200,000 nerve endings in our feet, and
that's true.
Being out of shoes lets those nerve endings give our brain feedback. Getting back to a natural state and using our body how it was meant to be used is really beneficial, and it's really starting to get some traction. There's a lot more research now going into barefootedness. It's growing here in Australia, it's growing all around the world.
Okay, so
That's I mean, that guy really devotes his life to barefootness, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I mean, like if you think about it, people go for foot massages, and like they say that actually, like he mentioned, so many nerve endings there, it actually has benefits for your whole body rather than just your feet. But if you're walking about every day, I guess you're kind of getting like some sort of foot massage. You're really feeling everything through there. Maybe it's got better health benefits than just your feet, man.
But
That's
is
interesting.
it true there are barefooters everywhere in Australia?
Australia is a highly urban society, one of the most urban societies in the world. And one myth is the idea that everyone in Australia will kick off their shoes at the first opportunity. Most people choose to live in large cities. So there's a fantasy first about the bush. The bush is celebrated, even though most people don't want to live there. And there's also the idea of the beach. The beach is the kind of paradise.
Yeah, tell me just yes or no, have you ever walked about shoeless, and how does it feel?
So let's break this down. Despite being a bush and beach-loving culture, 90% of Australians live in urban cities. While not entirely uncommon to see barefooters in these cities, most barefooting happens around beaches, parks, or indoors.
In Australia, there is a trade between work and leisure. You work hard, and then you're free. Going barefoot is more associated with being closer to nature. Very different from the original colonial culture of Britain. People are freer, much less protocol. And the symbol of that is to decide not to wear shoes because you're having fun, you're at leisure. And Australia is a leisure culture.
So whether you love or loathe going barefoot, when you're in Australia, you can kick off your shoes and your feet can enjoy a little freedom.
I don't even not wear shoes at home. You know, I just don't not have. Do you not wear shoes?
Yep, I'm barefoot right now.
Okay, interesting documentary there, like all about being barefoot in Australia. Who would have thought there would have been a documentary on that? The barefoot movement. Like, to be honest, yeah, man, I can see some benefits. I can see, like, I think this was looking into it very in depth. There was a lot of deep meaning here. Maybe I think that people just do it because they're just used to it. It's more comfortable for them. It's just like easier for them. But tell me what reason you would walk about barefoot and why. Yeah, so why would you do it? Thanks.